You're about to witness one of the fastest sports in the world, with a ball traveling at speeds close to 200 miles per hour.
Execution. Détermination.
Sacrifice.
Fearless.
Discipline.
Passion. You have to be a little crazy. The ball's moving up to 200 miles an hour. I'm trying to push it to 3.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Dean Beer here on the IRT Network. We are in sunny California today, not cloudy or cold California. We are getting ready for our finals by Daniel De La Rosa against Kane Waslinchuk. And before, obviously right now you're watching the players warm up. Okay, we got a special guest interview today, so I'm going to bring in on the microphone Dwayne Barone from the STAHRS. So Dwayne, welcome to the IRT Network, and let me start off by saying, why did you start your own business?
Well, Dean, thanks a lot for having me on. Kelly, thanks. Thanks to the IRT, of course. You know, the whole idea with STAHRS, Student Athletes for Healthy Relationships, I guess it started in college when I wanted to work for myself. I started out a finance and accounting major, and then I ended up switching to psychology. And when I switched to psychology, I figured at some point I wanted to be a sports psychologist because I was into competitive sports. Careers take a different path, and I ended up working with mental health and intellectually disabled people before starting a practice and having domestic violence work.
Gotcha. Well, that's a great story. So how did STAHRS, how is STAHRS a part of that dream?
So STAHRS is a part of that dream from the standpoint of, I started my own practice. I specialized, as I said, in domestic violence. So it was basically helping people try to put their lives back together. Their lives were out of control, way out of balance. STAHRS is coming off of that because so many of my clients said they wish they had this in high school. I work with 5 times more guys than I do women. So many of the guys I've worked with have played high school sports, and a few things came from it. A lot of times they would have their Friday night conversations in the locker room before and after the games, how much they were going to drink, who they were going to try to score with, and all that kind of crap. And then the second thing that came from a lot of the guys I worked with is they had really serious college careers getting ready to happen athletically. And they would go out drinking, they'd go out partying, they'd have an auto accident or something, and they would wreck their entire career. They would lose their scholarship. These guys, they'd lose their scholarship and they're pissed off and bitter at the world, start drinking and drugging, and they just stop caring.
That's really good. So how does STAHRS relate to racquetball?
STAHRS relates, I guess, to racquetball from the standpoint of, I played racquetball a long time. I got into it seriously in college, which was great. After that, since I was able to work for myself, I had flexibility to spend time with my family and such, but also I got to give back to racquetball by teaching. A friend of mine where we live in Highlands Ranch, Colorado, started some high school lessons with local high schools, and I was able to go volunteer during the weeks and help out and teach. We've recently taken those lessons on under STAHRS, and through that process, we're introducing an anti-bullying curriculum. We're trying to take it into the schools where I'm teaching kids about interpersonal violence, dating violence, sexual assaults, bullying, and things like that, and how all of that essentially gets perpetuated. It just keeps rolling downhill, generation to generation. The statistics on teen dating violence basically mirror adult domestic violence statistics as well. And so if we can change it early in their lives, if we can give them the information they need, if we can give them the perspectives they need, ideally we can reduce all of those types of violence, and they won't, 30 years from now we might have lower divorce rates, less domestic violence. I'm trying to put myself out of business. I don't want more clients. I want less.
I understand. So why student athletes?
Well, student athletes is, like I said, the teen dating statistics mirror the adults. So the kids are learning it from their parents a lot of times. The conversations in schools are kind of continuing the same old misogynistic thoughts about, the pursuit of sex as a game and such like that. So if I work with student athletes, I'm hoping to create ambassadors for change within their school. We're hoping to create more positive peer cultures, wanting them to take the forefront to reducing bullying. And a lot of times athletes and jocks have been the bullies. They'll pick on a lot of the kids that are in the out fringes of the society and stuff like that, the ones that stand out.
That's very true. What do you hope to accomplish with STAHRS?
I guess I said that earlier. I would like to see 30 years from now we have a lower divorce rate. We have a lot lower domestic violence rates. We have lower rates on sexual assaults. Right now, a teenage girl has got a 20% chance of being sexually assaulted when she goes to college. And it's going to be the freshman and sophomore girls that are going to parties, they don't have experience, and guys are there taking advantage and ready.
I got you there. So how can the IRT help?
Well, you just did. The whole idea of partnering with the IRT is to bring notice, right? To bring some recognition to what the problems are and our organization who wants to make a difference. Ideally, we're trying to lower the impact of violence in our schools. We can use professional athletes to be our spokespersons. We can use clinics through the racquetball world to try to introduce the anti-bullying curriculum. And hopefully we'll bring in more sports, more athletes from different sports. We want football players, we want baseball players, we want basketball players, we want all of it.
Well, very good. It's an interesting organization. I'm glad to help, promote it. So you guys at home, how can they find information about you, whether it be online or email, stuff like that?
Well, I suppose the easiest way right now would be stahrs.org. STAHRS, and of course the H is for healthy. So stahrs.org. My email, of course, Dwayne Barone at stahrs.org. And look forward to anybody who wants information. I'll talk to anybody about it all day long.
Thank you so much for stopping by. And the IRT Network is partners with STAHRS, so please check them out online. Once again, Dwayne Barone, STAHRS. Thank you so much, Dwayne.
Thanks, Dean. Have a great one.
So back to the action. The players are warming up on the court, and we're going to have a really good one here today. We're going to go to commercial break, and we'll be back in a few minutes, hopefully with the start of Game 1 of the finals, the California Open here in Canoga Park.